think the G-Man from Half-Life is death. I think he is a representation of death. I think he is watching over Gordon because he watches over people who have complex post-traumatic stress disorder. That's my theory. I think that the Half-Life games are a metaphor for complex post-traumatic stress disorder, and part of why I think that is playing those games helped me realize I had it and helped me get diagnosed among many other factors. I think the G-Man is not like a part of Gordon or whatever that one theory suggests. I think it's closer to he's his own shadow. He's something to be feared, but also something necessary to face in order to overcome and gain autonomy. A lot of the symbolism in the Half-Life games is about fighting authority, fighting power, fighting fascism to gain autonomy over his own world, Gordon's own world, but also to like help others and fight to challenge power, fight to challenge the system. So I think the G-Man doesn't serve the Combine. He's not with them. I think he's a third party, but I think he's literally death personified. Like that's what I think he represents in the games. Um, and another reason why I think this theory kind of works is he's only employed people who are fighting the system. For one thing, he's employed Shepard, Adrian Shepard, Gordon Freeman, Alex Vance, um, Barney, I think at one point, or I'm not sure if he actually employed him. I haven't played Blue Shift. I don't know that much about that one. But he's watching over people who are fighting systems and fighting to survive and get out. But specifically, he's watching the people who did survive and who haven't died yet in the games. So I think he's like death watching over them, and like not in like a malicious way, but in almost like a teasing, daunting way. Like he's their employer in the way that they are fighting the system that is killing people, and as death is something that would naturally be very involved with an apocalypse, which the Half-Life games are a sort of apocalypse. um it's like he's kind of what they're fighting, but more it's that they're working, like because at least Gordon is like hired at the end of Half-Life 1 by the G-Man is like the implication. So if the G-Man is death, then Gordon like faces death, he overcomes all the fears and all the crap of Black Mesa and becomes stronger than ever in the second game to defeat the system and defeat the like fascist alien regime. And therefore, because he's no longer like he's conquered all of what was holding him back, it's like it no longer is preventing him. So I think the first game was like CPTSD, and the second game is like now his fear and the trauma and different things. Instead of controlling him, he controls it, and instead of G-Man and the Death controlling him, he's starting to control the things. But then he gets too powerful, and that's why his contract I think gets handed over to uh the highest bidder or whatever. Is like I don't know. This is just I'm just theorizing here, but I think the G-Man is death personified, or a personification of death, like the Grim Reaper, but a different form, like an alien form of it. And then here's another reason why, actually, and this one's a bit more Insaneo style, but I don't really give a crap. So, anyways, I'm a chaos mage. I work with magic and different things, or I don't know, fucking whatever you want to call it, coding my own brain. I don't. That's not what it is. Whatever. But like fucking before I knew I had CPTSD, I got really into the Half-Life games again, and one of the things I was very drawn to the G-Man. I was incredibly just fucking obsessed with him, and I couldn't figure out why. And actually, on my Chaos Shrine, I have like oil paintings of the G-Man, like oil and acrylic or whatever. And he sort of became a symbol, or like a deity in my Chaos magic. And when I started doing a lot of like work on myself to work through my CPTSD, I actually started having like lucid dreams and different things about the G-Man. Um, and I realized he represented the same thing as death personified to me, or sort of a combination of like fear and death. So I guess like things I would associate the G-Man with would be Azrael, death, the angel of death. Another thing I would associate him would be Samael, the fear of death, or like I guess that would be like the devil mixed with death, or I don't know. I think he's fucking death. That's what I think. That's my theory, and I'm putting the theory out there because I've not seen any other Half-Life fans imply that the G-Man might just straight up fucking be like a god, but not in the way people think. Not like Because, like, I think I've heard people imply that maybe he's like the devil or something, but I don't think I've heard anyone say, nah, he's death. But that's my theory.